back. This is our top 8 cut for our New Year's tournament. It's me, one of your co-hosts, Emilio Soto, Medicine Ambassador, with our other co-host, our director of R&D and Development for Medicine Games, Kevin.
Hey guys, welcome back, and we're glad to be here. I love hanging with Emilio and Arnaud the entire day. It's amazing. We've had an awesome tournament, folks. Really high energy. Players like it as a whole, and audience, you folks. Thank you guys for showing up. It has been a blast to do this amazingly. So right now we're getting some setup going on, but we have our top 8 brewing up here. So we have our matchups are going to be water versus water. We got water versus lightning, water versus forest, and frost versus frost, actually. So that means one frost deck is guaranteed to go into the top 4 of this top 8. If you don't know how it works, it's going to be single elimination, best of 3, 15-minute timer as usual, and we are going to do best of 3 games. And that, if it goes to time, we have end-to-end match procedures with 3 additional turns per round, and then we also have what's it called? Sudden death, if it comes down to it. And
if it does come down to it.
Yes. If it does come down to it. And we're actually starting here pretty soon. So, Arnaud, let's get that stream going on. Beginning this matchups here. In this room, we have we got only 2 games. We got Frost versus I believe this is Frost. Yep, Frost versus Frost matchup. Emilio, what can we say? Frost is definitely the dark horse this tournament. We did not expect Frost to get to top 8, nor do we expect Frost to see significant play. But here we are.
And this matchup is going to be wildly slow because, Frost is control. It's control versus control. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's been a day for those of you that are just joining us. It's been a day full of nostalgic matchups like Forest versus Lightning, and also the new matchups like Water versus Water, Water versus the World, really. And of course, we have the Lightning matchups. It's been great. If you have not had the time to see these games, they will be published soon in our YouTube page, and you can, of course, watch our Twitch stream. And remember that they are competing for 3 unique one-of-one NFTs. Tiny 8-bit madness for the top 3 players. So All at Stake is our first NFT priced tournament. So really exciting to be here with all of you on this first day of the year 2022. And of course, we've been the whole day together with you, our audience, Kevin, Arnaud, and our lovely staff and MCOs that are working hard to make sure that you're all having fun and the players are playing the game correctly, right? And enjoying it as well. So we have a very different starting point here. We have a Frost deck that's already ramping up to 4 aura and one that's at 2, right?
Right.
With an Amikuk out.
Yeah, something to note about these mirror matchups is a lot of these Frost. So mirror matchups in MetaZoo are very interesting, right? So let's take a force and force. We got first person critters, tribal boost bonuses stack. Right, lightning versus lightning, no stacking bonuses per se, but we got similar Terra bonuses, and of course grounding, which has seen good competitive play in TTS versus lightning, right? At times, and water versus water, don't get it started, right? Flood the earth, null and void. Not only that, but cards like Chessie get immensely stronger and can really make those games be violent. Frost doesn't exactly have the same amount of mirror matchup synergies. The only synergies that, anti-synergies that exist are just the Terra alone, right? Winter Terra stacking, and that's if the Frost player is playing Winter. Frost typically tends to like 2 Terras. It likes Winter and it likes Snowing, and most of the Frost species don't have both. Most of them have only one, right? Like for instance, take Amikuk. Amikuk likes Winter and Lake. Ilium Lake Monster, same concept. But something like Snow Snake or Wahila, they like primarily snowing, right, instead. But it looks like, looking at this matchup, both of these Frost players are going more winter-oriented Terra styles. That's huge. Not only is this impactful, but in this particular matchup, both Frost players seem to like Amikuks a lot. And typically, we've seen these matches that Burrow has been a hard trade to get around. It's tough, right? You need some kind of beastie like Gumroot, who is, in a sense, a juggernaut, to deal with those threats. Or you need some sort of like spell to deal with it, like Flood the Earth. But now, not at the mirror matchup with Amakux versus Amakux. Amakux can attack Amakux because they both have Burrow. However, it's troublesome because if an Amakuk attacks an Amakuk, they gotta deal with first strike. And that can be a problem in its own right. So
it is definitely harder to crack, to decipher. As we talked earlier in the stream, forest versus forest, it normally comes down to the Gumbrus. Who got the Gumbru out? Who got the 9 in a bottle? Who's really like pushing those cards back up and potentially getting a growth for even more board advantage? Water, it could come down normally to having the frog out with the right amount of potions, and then getting to that critical 5 auras for water. For Frost, I'm trying to think. With Burrow being in play, with the Amikux in the matches that we're seeing, what is the control state? I mean, they're both so heavy on control, right? There's a few cards that could be used. I'm trying to think what is a potential turning point for a Frost deck to win a mirror matchup.
I think we're starting to see it. I think it's just plain old, good old card advantage, right? Who can maintain those card advantage the most, right? Icy Path, still good against Frost versus Frost, right? It's not like water, where water can dampen another water player. No. You can Icy Path a Frost player, and unless they're running slow, which is not very popular, we've seen in this tournament, a Icy Path can be devastating. Icy Path an Amakuk into an Amakuk, one-shotting another Amakuk, right? Because first strike comes in play, guaranteed. And just they're weak beasties with a lot of damage, so of course one's going to be destroyed.
So it could be who plays the most icy paths and polar vortexes.
Correct.
Get more icy paths.
Correct.
It could be that just a very very slow match that just comes down to advantage. But I do think that might be the key, Kevin. It might be the icy paths and the polar vortexes.
I think that's it, Emilio. Who gets it out first? And just raw card advantage, right? And we're seeing Shenbon, right? Both RiceKate and Shenbon, beautiful players, immaculate, right? We've seen fluid play, the right plays, the right side deck moves from both these players, and that's why they both are very deserving of the top 8. And I would love either of them to win the whole tournament, but we can't have both. Unfortunately, it's not like tacos, right? We can't have both. We just can't, right?
Tacos?
It's bad reference. Bad reference.
I'm very confused. It might be my personal life choices that do not let me understand this, but I do agree that there can only be one winner, and it is exciting to have Frost versus Frost just be part of the top 4 because it's gonna be part of the top 4.
Definitely. I don't think it's never happened before in any TTS tournament or any major tournament, like either done by fans or in pro play support, right? So it's very, very exciting, right, seeing this. And we talked about it before, the skill expression in MetaZoo and Index. And, people play Frost. Frost players know. Frost is not an easy ore type to play, nor is it an easy ore type to build, right? But we're getting to the point where players are beginning to crack the puzzle. How to make Frost optimize, how to make it perform well, and how to make it perform well against what is metagame. Frost is doing all of the above with these two players. These players are trailblazers, right? And we're seeing the action of Frost in the metagame. So both players here should be very proud of their effort. And this is making history in the metagame. Frost making its debut against Lightning, Forest, and now Water.
Yes, it is definitely exciting to see it. It'll be exciting to be able to interview one of these players, or maybe both eventually, if not today, to know what was their mindset. Why did they choose Frost? What's their experience with other card games? It'll be very, as you said, Frost requires a lot of potentially experience with card games just to be able to make the right calls. There's a lot to choose. There's a lot of the right timing for the choices of the removal, Icy Pass and all these things. So excited to get to know these two players later on, these two casters later on a little bit more, and why they chose Frost and their experience playing in this tournament. Yeah.
Completely agree. And that card game point rings very true, right? Because again, it's Frost, so many intricate parts for the workings of Frost. But here we got two very different board states, Emilio, right? While RiceKate may seem like they don't have any cards in hand and are at a disadvantage, RiceKate has a ton of aura available. So much more aura. So they have two polar opposites. One player has a lot of aura, but no cards to really work it with. And one player has a lot of cards, but not enough aura to make it work. Two very different scenarios. One thing for certain is that RiceKate has the board state at the moment, right? But as we know, it can definitely turn. And there's the Alaskan Vortex. That's going to come in handy. Not only to remove the Amakuk attacking and defending against RiceKate, but also to bring back some card advantage RiceKate really needs right now to stick in the game. Alaskan Vortex refills the hand very well, and it just clears off any major threat. Clears off those Frogmans, clears off Monomans, clears off...
Ice Spell and an Icy Path are definitely two great cards to be able to get back at this point. Definitely getting that Amakuk out is definitely the right move. If our other caster gets to bookmark another aura page, they will have had an Amakuk with a power-up red, right? And that potentially could have been a problem. Of course, they can still set that up, but right now they are, missing some aura.
They are, right? There's
new beginnings. This is a great time.
Yeah, this is very interesting. And in this matchup, right, there's no damping to worry about. They can freely play it. And this is a critical moment for RiceKate to play into New Year's, because that way they can discard a significant number of cards in Shenbon's hand in the chapter.
Looks like that was it, though.
There we go. Right, we do get top deck 2 cards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that New Beginnings is gonna drop potentially there.
But it could, right? Would you do it? I mean, maybe, right?
I mean, look at that hand right now. I think that would be the best choice, but I don't know. I also am not a Frost player, so maybe that's not the right move. There you go.
There we go. Right.
This is an advantage because there were eight cards in Shenbon's hand, right?
Yes, that was a ton. That was the most impactful, arguably, like New Year's we saw this tournament, right? Discarding 8 cards from someone's hand out of the game. Get it out of here. Give me 7 back. Let me win the game. RiceKate's saying. Let me win the game.
Look at that draw for Shenbon. Like, there's only one Frost Aura. That means that coming up, there's gonna be a lot of aura bookmarks to be had. So
exactly. And again, RiceKate just set up perfectly. This is the perfect hand. The beasties to close out the game, the bookmark to keep the pressure going, the slow to stop the threats of spells coming out, stop that frostbite, stop that icy spell at the same turn. RiceKate has it all right now, and Shenbon is struggling to keep it up.
Yeah, and you might question why play a Wahila when your opponent doesn't have any beasties that are gonna be locked in fatigue. But do remember that if your opponent is playing beasties, they're gonna be coming fatigued. And next turn, you can then use the power of Wahila to deal damage to them, right?
Right.
It's still a good move to get your Wahila out, even if you're not locking down your opponent's board. I think that it's an aggressive stance, of course. You're betting for that damage from the Wahila, or just to get some damage in.
It's gonna be a scoop that fast, right? Shenbon definitely considering the time to account, right? They want to be able to. Looks like they don't want to rush into a sudden death scenario, especially with how slow these decks can play. Right, they want to have the full time.
They really know Frost, right? Like, Frost games can drag out forever. You do not want to drag out at this stage in the game. You don't want to drag on a game that you think that's potentially going to be a loss, right?
Yes.
So this is a great choice by Shenbon, and not a great opening hand. No aura inside, but you do have a crystal.
You got a crystal. It can be risky, right?
Mm,
It's unfortunate. Now what they're getting.
so
Yeah.
Rice getting a great hand with a bookmark, a crystal, 2 auras, and Amikuk. That
Right.
is an amazing opening hand.
Right. They actually have relatively similar hands to a degree, but
Mm,
both of them open up, same opening, aura, crystal, but
the aura was drawn, right? Like that was
yeah.
a bookmark. That was not in the starting hand.
Well, it wasn't, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Now I saw the aura. I did not see the aura. That. Okay, now it's pretty even.
Yeah.
A bookmark is a bookmark, right?
Arguably, right? That RiceKate already has more card advantage, right? And let's be honest, in a mirror matchup, this is something I think we gotta talk about, right? How much Terra do you run in a mirror matchup? You see, Shenbon had the opportunity to take out Winter Terra because RiceKate's opening up Winter Terra. The thing is, having the Terra that you share with your opponent may be more detrimental to you because you can include an extra card that would be more useful if you bank on your opponent running the Terra. But then it begs the question: if both casters are scared to put the Terras in their deck, are you gonna get the Terra in the first?
Just slow down a game a lot if both casters try to play it smart, right, and take out the Terras out of their decks.
Right.
Definitely funny to see. I haven't seen it happen. I think we were very close to seeing that happen with a lightning matchup in one of the earlier tournaments, but it didn't end up happening. So here we have 4 aura available. Fatiguing for 4. 4?
Maybe last in Vortex. Ooh, the Frostbite here, just cleaning up Wallapolic, giving the card back, keeping that card advantage going, right? And I think you're right.
Wahila.
I think Wahila is next to Icy Path. Wahila is the other card that is the turning point. Being able to use Wahila to shut down Amikuk boards and do AoE clear is crucial in these Frost matchups, right? Well, we could be looking at a 2-0, a clean sweep from RiceKate, right? Could be.
We see another Amikuk hit the field. 2 aura left.
Yeah,
Inter is being played.
There's a Terra. Terra is now 1C, right? In these matchups, the ideal play is to not contract the Terra immediately, but instead to hold it back to when you can use it first. In this scenario, Shenbon was not able to utilize the friend Terra first. RiceKate did. RiceKate also gets like Terra. That means Shenbon just gave RiceKate an extra free 15 damage, which could be majorly impactful in destroying a beastie or artifact. Because MetaZoo, every damage matters to destroy beasties. We get the Icy Path.
Yep.
Icy Path coming out. Who's the targeting? Wahila or RiceKate?
Looks like they're touching.
Or the crystal, or the snowflake, taking out that aura base. It's huge right now. Talked about the critical point, right? Frost wants to be at 4 Frost aura. Give Frost 4 Frost aura, right?
Born from the Earth is definitely not necessarily the greatest draw, but with Wahila out, you can get some cost reduction thanks to the second part of Born from the Earth, right? So
yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah, Born from the Earth, it's definitely a mediocre pool. Not the worst pool in the world, but if Shenbon had, say, a Qualipolic in hand or Amikuk, that would have been a free Amikuk or Qualipolic, essentially.
Wahila coming in a very good place now, right? Like,
yes.
Wahila just contracted is locking the Wahila and the other Amikuk. Pretty nice, stall.
Right. It's a game of chicken, right? Like, who's going to play their Wahila first? Because the second player who plays Wahila next is going to shut down your Wahila and your board. And right now, Shenbon is pulling Temple right now. And that Snowflake destruction was so huge because if not, Alaskan Vortex is going to drop. It was going to drop that next turn, take out Shenbon's Wahila. Shenbon's going to reset here. Making the pages. and set up for a nice turn here. A lot of options, right?
They did not play, right. They did not play another Amikuk first because they wouldn't even have the aura for an icy path.
It
And
wouldn't.
also, it was gonna get 20 damage by the Wahila potentially. Like it just happened, right?
Exactly.
It was gonna be fatigued. So yeah, very very interesting matchup. I would dare to say this is one of the mirror matchups I like more active than the others for some reason. Maybe it's just because we haven't had the pleasure to see Frost
Yes.
play that much, right?
I think that's it. And not only that, we haven't seen a Frost mirror matchup yet. We've seen a lot of
Yeah,
water.
exactly.
Yeah, it's just water, we've seen water is not unbeatable. Water is lost against many aura types today, right? It's not lost against frost, forest, almost dark, right? Lost water can lose and water does lose. Water right now is the flavor of the month. Let's be honest. It is the metagame right now. It's the flavor, right? We'll have to see how long the flavor lasts. We saw that forest and lightning had been flavor for a long time, but Forest dropped out of the flavor, right? We've seen him drop for months, and now this tournament has a renaissance, just coming back. And a lot of Forest players made top 16 this tournament, right? Or just top half, right? But as you know, it also comes down to player skill, right? And a lot of the skilled players we're seeing are running water because that's how they can express their skill. So
Of course, yeah. Now we have, after that Polar Vortex took out an Amikuk, and we have Icy Path returning. So both players have Icy Paths in hand. Rice has two of them versus one on the other hand. There we have finally we have a slow in RiceKate's hand.
yep.
So I could potentially slow down something next turn. We'll see. Very interesting board state right now. And that's a pass.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, yeah.
These Frost players have very different identities. I'm seeing RiceKate. RiceKate's very unique because they're using slow a lot in their deck, or just using it. I mean, we're seeing it every game, and even if it's not being used, the threat of slow has been intense, right? Where Shenbon, there we go, the Jack Frost. That's what I know Shenbon for the most as a Frost player. That's their identity. Getting these nice Jack Frost plays, clearing off Terra. And we've seen how impactful it is. Getting Lightning Storm out, getting the Lake out, get that river out of the way. I'm going to freeze it up with Jack Frost.
That is a really weird move, right? Because the Amikuk was getting a boost from.
It was. Yeah, it was a weird move, I will say. Likely that was done just because Jack Frost deals a lot of damage, right? It's going to get out a ton of damage with its attack. But right now, Wahila's still doing work right now, still dealing 20 damage to all the beasties right now. At least all the fatigue beasties. Jack Frost is going to see some use here. Again, Jack Frost frozen for 15 turns, folks. 15 turns. It has a whopping 80 damage for essentially a 3-drop, since if it's winner, costs 3 less. So, a very potent beastie indeed. And very unique because it has flight and spirit attached to it.
The late.
I believe Millie disconnected. Oh, there we go. Welcome back. All right, this matchup is going to come down to who can most effectively utilize their removal, right? It comes down to how many more beasties do I have over the opposing caster? How much removal do I have to do with beasties? Whoever can most effectively use their removal the best is going to win this matchup, because you need beasties to win with Frost. You need that damage coming in. And it comes down to even a single Amakuk being alive, a single Jack Frost, a single Wahila at the end of the game, and the other caster doesn't have removal. That's the winner. That's the winner, folks. Right?
There's a lot of freezing going on right now.
Right.
Was taken back? What happened there? Okay. Wow, was that from the Polar Vortex? You just got those. They got those too.
I believe so. Yes.
Sorry, yeah, my connection got a little bit there, but I'm back.
You're doing
So okay, so we are here, and I agree with what I heard. It is a lot of like who can exert the best control, and I do think that if it's close enough, it's the who uses the icy paths the best, because that's one of the most recurrent cards in the deck. It's something that you can recur with the Vortex. Get an icy spell for the Amikuk, and a frostbite to bookmark one and destroy that Amikuk.
right.
Pretty solid move.
Exactly. If you've been watching on stream, most players will always burrow. You may be asking why did Shenbon not burrow that turn? It's because they want to keep it up as a defender in case Wahila attacks into the Eternal Snowflake. Shenbon is barely hanging on aura-wise right now. We're having a reverse scenario where RiceKate has a ton of... Well, actually, I'm sorry. This is the same turn last game where RiceKate...
Yeah.
and then Shenbon doesn't have much aura. Has a good amount of cards, doesn't have a lot of aura. But RiceKate is keeping the tempo going because Frostbite is giving the card advantage that they need to get it going. Jack Frost still in the arena, still kicking, still doing its thing right now. And right now,
it's really nipping at everyone's noses. It's keeping a good board presence. It destroyed the lake. So the Amikuks are not as powerful. Just a little boost.
exactly right.
That little boost was really gonna stack up. Yeah.
Oh, it was.
I wonder, will they? Yeah, they're keeping 2 Frost Aura open, 2 Icy Paths versus 3 Icy Paths in hand.
Right. What this game looks like. Imagine you're walking a trip line. That's what they're doing right now. Both of them, any move they make can likely be responded to. Right, no problem. Right, they both have traps in their hands set up for those plays. And any move they do, they gotta be. This is a very tense game for these players. The mind game is real. Right.
Jem knows that if they attack with that Jack Frost, it's gonna be redirected at that crystal.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they are aware.
Right. And especially since you can't Icy Path an Icy Path, folks. You can't do it. Only one Icy Path is enough. So
there's that small window. It's when you're declaring the attack. That's it.
Exactly.
We have Tisserhook, an amazing, powerful BC from Cryptid Nation.
It is amazing. And not only that, but it gets boosted up by Jack Frost, and Jack Frost is letting Snowing activate right now because Winter's open. And because Winter open, Tisserhook has invisibility, so he can't even be hit by Jack Frost. There is no
invisibility. As a reminder, right? It cannot be blocked. As in, the attack cannot be blocked from Tisserhook, and Tisserhook cannot be attacked.
Yes.
But it can still be targeted by spells. Okay, so it's just like an attack protection, basically, but not a spell protection. So it is a great trade, very powerful, but definitely a way to get around specifically with all the spells that Frost runs. Right? We have the second anniversary hitting here for the Tisserhook.
Yes, and
25.
And RiceKate doesn't have that aura for a slow right now, but does have the aura for, say, an Icy Path, right? No aura for that.
That was quite a play to get that Tisserhook out. It is a big menace. The Jack Frost staying on the field, it's it's looking pretty good right now.
Oh yeah. Aura's awakened here. 5 awakened aura for RiceKate. That's enough of 2 Icy Paths. And a little excess, just hanging about, floating around. Scary hands right here. I mean, even if it wasn't a mirror matchup, I mean, 2 Icy Paths in hand at least. Lord, that is devastating on anybody. Turning games around. Right?
So Icy Path into So Amikuk attacked Amikuk, I'm guessing, right? The Icy Path.
Right. See a little redirect here. Right now,
that's why I wondered. I really, they had the option to first attack and then play the second Amikuk, but
right. The anniversary really kicked in right there. It was affecting the Amikuks, no Boro, no first strike, and Jack Frost sitting alone, just on the ground, chilling by a tree. No flight, no spirit right now. Can be hit by a lonesome, solitary Amikuk, just calm and
yeah,
vibe.
that's what makes the play. That's why it was interesting that Rice didn't decide to just attack first, right?
Exactly.
They had attacked first. The Icy Path would have redirected to her life points probably, and then they could have played the second Amikuk. But maybe there's reasons for that, and we'll find out.
Indeed.
Now it's the Icy Path count is 1 in Rice, 2 in Shen. So interest. Oh, we see another Jack Frost.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Still scary, right? As a whole, with these Icy Paths, but we're starting to get really to gauge how well this game is going. Let's look at the deck counts. 24 cards. Got a lot of cards in these decks right now. RiceKate, though, 6 cards less than Shenbon. That means that they're in more of a critical spot right now because whoever has no more cards in the hand is going to lose, right? Yeah. No more BCs especially, right? This is a game of attrition, more than any game we've seen overall.
These games are really interesting to play when you're control versus control. If you have a big a larger spell book in a control match and you're playing your control right, normally the person with the bigger spell book will win, right? Because you will be able to, one will deck out, another one will keep answers coming out, right? So really interesting matchup that we're witnessing here. We have 2 Jack Frosts out in the field. Pretty neat view.
It is
for our winter weather.
It is, and we're seeing the advantage begin turning, right? I mean, looking at looks like Shenbon has slightly more pages in their hand, and they got that Lake Terra. Lake Terra again going to benefit both BCs here, as is. Pollock coming out. Pollock, very solid Frost Beastie. Shenbon uses Pollock a lot, and we've seen a lot of utility from it in terms of Frostbite combos and just delaying turns. But here, Pollock gets a taste of her own medicine, getting frozen for 2 right back at her right now. So that's gonna help stall some time right now. Jack Frost attacks into Jack Frost.
An Icy Path.
Well, hang on, that's an illegal play because but that's spirit, right?
Well, he's they're attacking with Icy Path, right? And the
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So if it goes to caster, you can Icy Path to caster.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Should be no problem. But I believe a rule to Jack Frost. That's why. But
no, that was a hard loss for Rice. Losing that Jack Frost is
good news. Really bad.
Yeah. Once again, could have been avoided potentially borrowing with that Amikuk at the start of the game. If you know that Icy Path is in the hand, right? You have to play around it. You have to remove the potential targets of Icy Path.
Right. If Kate burrowed preemptively for it, right? Then Jack Frost would have been fine. It would have been okay. But that's not how it is. It's not how it is.
2 Frostbites in hand, with Jack Frost dealing 15 frozen counters. Icy Path by Kate.
Indeed.
Running into what?
Doing some damage to a caster. 770 right now with Shenbon. But not throwing it at Pollock, surprisingly, actually.
Yeah, very surprising.
That is surprising. Right, Jack Frost would have easily taken care of Pollock. It's only 50 life points, but, got it out.
Maybe they're hoping that the Mikuks will take care of it, I guess. I don't know.
Hoping. And looks like that, hitting for a lot of damage. 70 damage from a 2-drop. That's a lot of damage. And, that's a ton of damage right now.
Oh.
Icy Path number 1, or last one. Icy Paths slowly going away from both casters right now. This is dwindling in supply right now. you want an Icy Path count right now? Let's check it out. We got 2 in Kate's cemetery, and we got three used right now. So Kate's a little bit of an advantage because they got one more Icy Path, just one more Icy Path available.
Well, that might just be enough, right? And
It might
remind us slow. Can you pop up slow in the? When can you respond with slow? I forget.
well, whenever a spell's contracted, right? So just slow
So
spell.
Kate could have responded to that icy path with the slow.
Could have, but looks like they're choosing not to.
Yeah.
Maybe holding on. I can foresee it holding on to maybe a frostbite, right? Because with slow, you can deny a frostbite, but same concept with icy path. You can deny an icy path with slow as well. So
Interesting. Yeah. That's. I haven't played slow, so I'm trying to wrap my head around it a little bit.
it's a very interesting spell and allows for some play you would normally see, but it is akin to basically frost dampen, right? It's a frost dampen that has a lot of potency.
Potentially the OG dampen, right? Frost was
Dampen, yeah.
slow was in our release deck, in our tribal decks for our Minnesota Iceman from Cryptid Nation.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
What you can get
Only there.
Yeah, what you can get in Cryptid Nation Second Edition, So
That's true.
get that Minnesota Iceman tribal deck, no problem.
I honestly did not expect to see slow. I had not seen slow being played
Oh yeah,
before.
definitely not a bad spell, and RiceKate knows the power. I mean, considering that they're in top 8 after 6 rounds, and slow was main decked for RiceKate, I bet you it saw some really key play in these games.
Yeah. So now what are we looking at? Are we looking at Amicus just stalling it out to avoid the first strike?
Yeah, it's coming down to these Amicus, right? Straight up.
Then we have that little Jack Frost will be hitting each turn though, so that's the winning board at the moment.
Indeed.
If we match 2 Amicus, right? So very interesting. Okay, there was a suicide mission there.
Right. Wow, what a
they're trying to, okay, they're just trying to get some damage in. That's really interesting. Okay.
right. Amicooks, it's kind of a stalemate, right? Because if I attack my Amcook, then I can't, if I defend, that's first strike. If I defend. But looks like Shenbon's just trying to rush the game at this point. A lot of removal, Kate doesn't have much BCs left, it's a single Amcook. A lot of removal's gone, right? So looks like we're going for just a rush right now, right?
Yeah, this makes sense. I do think that I'm trying to think what could save Kate. Potentially a polar vortex could give her another
Or a power up red.
Wow.
Or
There
a power
you go.
Yep.
The cards are talking to us, the pages are talking to us. We were wondering and now we know.
That's
It's
it.
a power up red, the
That
OG
and
table turner.
here's the kicker. Moving out fast. We got one Alaskan Vortex potentially in Shenbon's deck. Just one. So this might be it. Shenbon's at 630 right now. That power up red is going to swing the damage. It might be enough damage to end the game right now. And Shenbon is running out of Icy Paths, but we get the Qualupalic top deck to stall the game out right now. To stall that game.
Yeah, potentially they're just gonna wait that they can do Qualipalic or not. I would have waited maybe that I could have a target to freeze and then use the frostbite, right?
Yes.
But of course you can also just play it and have an overwhelming number of beasties to get those life points down. That's also obviously a great move.
Exactly. Oof. Bookmark spell could come in clutch here. Let's see it. Get that bookmark. One neutral aura. Bookmark 2. Oof, that was not what we want to see. We don't want to see a Winter Terra. We already got one. At the Amica God. Likely going to burn next turn. A lot of options here. A lot of options.
Yeah, this frost matchup is okay. So that's dealt with. Friendly.
Right. So looks like we got the kill because Amacook was defending with the first strike. That's it right there. That's
This is
it.
the second. This is the second time Rice runs right into an Amikuk.
First Amacook, yeah.
I'm wondering what's going on. But yeah, this is there's a new beginnings in sight.
Right.
Of course, no reason to play that.
Doesn't need it. They're hitting a ton of damage right now with Amacooks. 70 apiece. Call Pollock hitting for, I believe that is 90? Check real fast. 80. 80 with 2 terror as well. So a lot of, actually, like 60. Association.
Quite a turnaround. Quite a turnaround in this game. This board, I would have not expected this board when we started with those opening hands, and somehow we got there. And this is pretty much game. Like, what do you foresee at this point? There's also an icy path now.
Looks like a Shenbon win right here.
Yeah.
He just has the cards going for him, right? Just has the cards. So
at this point, we're going to our third game for this match, right?
Oh yeah. I think we'll call it game here. And we'll check out. Oh, looks like it's done. Well, it's not here anymore. So that was a quick game. I guess they close it out, huh? We have to see the results. We have the. Can we pull up the results real fast?
Yeah, we apologize. We really got wrapped up in this Frost matchup. It was so exciting to see. I'm sure the other game was as exciting. We just got really focused here.
Yeah.
We have some opening hands here. Only one Frost Aura and no Frost Aura for Rice. So that's kind of hard there.
Yep.
And then Kevin is getting the results to find out who won that other match that we were not able to see. And our players are right now in our Frost mirror match. They're thinking of potentially mulligans, I'm guessing. But Kate kept known a 0 or a hand. That's a bold move. But as Kevin has discussed, card advantage is very important in a mirror matchup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always important, but even more important in a mirror matchup. And is the new beginnings gonna happen? The new beginnings. Okay, no, yeah, that would have been amazing for Kate.
For sure.
We have our Amikuk show up. We have a Frost Aura show up. Start turning around. And do we have the new beginnings now? Whoa. Okay. This potentially will give the game. Could give the game to Kate. Just because she has a crystal out, one aura, and Amikuk, and she had not a great hand, right? Winter's out. And once again, no aura. What is going on? One aura. Okay, so
I don't know. Something else we noticed too. It doesn't seem like. Did you notice a lot of side decking from these casters right now? I didn't notice a ton of side decking. It must be.
I did not see. I did not notice the side decking, but we were also trying to look at the other game, so we might have missed it.
Right. It's wow. Look at this hand from Shenbon. A lot of people want to be cooks because he has a lot of Emma cooks, dude. He's got a lot of cooks going for him right now.
Wow. Thank you, Kevin. Yes, that is true. And there was, yes. There was a missing aura. No aura was drawn by our Shenbon.
Yeah.
This leaves this Amikuk with a power up red.
That's
the
wild.
field.
That's wild. Everyone knows the power of Burrow BC with power up red. You can see it with Total Bottom's Monster or Sonic Bolter, power up red. Amacook with the power up red, monster.
Now doubling down on the Amikuk, leaving that threat of the teaser hook for a later turn, even though it could have been played this turn. Potentially keeping that slow available, right?
Yep.
Potentially keeping that icy path, but there's no lightning in bottles. There's no fleet here, so I don't understand that. But there we go. We have a Amikuk being played right now with the convert trait and the one aura. So maybe potentially taking out like, that iceberg might have been the move, right? Because they kind of forgot about the aura there.
Could have been, and you think meaning iceberg, convert. This. Well, that's the thing about the Amonkuk, right? Is that even if that Amonkuk has power up red, Amonkuk counters Amonkuk pretty well because of first strike, right? So, but Kate just not allowing for any. Hang on. Can't destroy.
If you're new to Metasu and you are, wondering about Frost, you're seeing Borrow work for the first time, you might be inclined to try it out. It is definitely a very fun mechanic, as you can see. You can attack on your turn. You can then borrow from spells and attack in your opponent's turn, though it does leave you open to an attack, right? But still, very cool trait to be showcased in this little tournament here. Let's see what's going on. So, Hook, to play or not to play? Apparently to play. We have Hook played, so we can't icy path. We cannot slow now. But definitely, as we've talked in this past stream, Hook with invisibility is quite a threat. But there's no. Is it snowing? Yeah, right. It has to be snowing.
It's snowing, right? Exactly. And I haven't seen any of these casters run snowing with Terra in the snow.
Yeah.
Winter Lake. A lot of emphasis right now on those Amokuks right now, for sure. Very flavor of the month right now. I wonder if Amonkuk will get stronger or weaker over time, but we'll have to see. It does have a lot with the gameplay in MetaZoo, as that after sets come out, with Nightfall, huge shift in the metagame, right? We've seen 4 types like Water and Frost really shine now, and it's not that Lightning and Forest got weaker. It's still very viable. We're seeing them a lot in these tournaments, for sure. But these other orc types really shining, right? And I cannot wait for the future of MetaZoo, as especially after the Kryptonation block finishes and we have 5 sets in the metagame. How much diversity of orc types we're really going to see, right?
Of course. Yeah. And if you're new to Metasu, once again, you're hearing Kevin. He's the head of R&D for Metasu. So you are peeking into his brain right now. What is he thinking about? And one of the things that's important to highlight is that one of the key tenets of when cards are being designed is that every deck should be able to shine, right? It's not about pushing cards down or banning cards. It's about making every archetype sort of viable and having a unique playstyle. So definitely a fun time to be part of Metasu and get to discover and enjoy, how we craft. Well, Kevin crafts with his whole R&D team this specific archetypes and their playstyle. And once again, if you're joining us now, you'll be able to see a few different archetypes play. If you look back at this tournament's matches early on, it will be put in YouTube and streamed on later. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching and staying with us today. It's definitely been great. Yeah,
exactly. And I want to thank Emilio. He's not giving himself enough credit. He's also been testing with us for a while. So credit to him as well and the R&D team. And shout out to Damien Logan as R&D. If you guys like some aura types like Cosmic, right? Damien did a lot of work Cosmic and Wilderness. So look forward to seeing his designs shine for sure in the future.
Oh, fantastic. Definitely. Yeah. I am excited to see Wilderness myself, and I'm sure everyone is. So a lot of surprises, I'm sure, are coming our way. Just with the changes that Nightfall brought in, I'm sure Wilderness will bring a lot of nice treats to the metagame. And right now, we do have a second Eternal Snowflake. We have some Amikuks up for defense, Qualopilic up for defense, Hook with 2 of the Amikuks out, Power Up Red still strong in the board, and now we have enough aura for potentially a Wahila, and then still have aura for an Icy Path. So things are looking really good for Kate, but Shenbon is still playing defensively and making the right choices. I think leaving that Amikuk with first strike is definitely nice.
Definitely.
Okay, attacking and oh, interesting. They did not defend um the Dami Cook. Maybe they want to get the Tisser hook. How do you think, Kevin?
Well, that or maybe the play is to really defend against that power up Red Cook, which is the one thing. Now Shenbon is about to lose it, right? About to lose his best of three set. But we are seeing again, think about Kate constantly playing into or rather misplaying into these or I don't know misplay. We've seen a couple of misplays from them where these first strike Amakuks really punishing for those attacks, not respecting the first strike, not respecting the awakened Amakuk.
They just did it. They did get in a direct strike with that power up red
Yeah,
Amic.
they did, and
Success.
it looks like Kate's going to move
Oh,
on. 10 LP left.
Aquila.
Another perfect game for Kate. 1,000 LP still to 10, right? And this feels a lot less of a stall out, a lot more of like a slugfest. I'm slugging Amcooks. That's the game.
That was insane. That was an insane game.
Right. So
As you can see, mirror match, but they both have very different play styles. And it's really nice that they could show that with their playing, right? Like, Kate is very, is a little bit more aggressive with their board state. Shenbon is is a little bit more careful, but in this match, it looks like, yeah, Kate takes it, right? 2-1.
yeah, exactly. 2-1. Let's see if we can get Shenbon because he's out for now, and we'll let Kate take a break right here. In this call.
Let's see. Yeah.
See.
Definitely, our casters are definitely tired, right? So we might not be able to get hold of them, even if they're out of the tournament. It's been a long day. If they can, that's great. But if not, it has been amazing to watch them play, and I'm sure the chat will let them have some love for that amazing playing that they just did. Great casting, great spells, and great matchup. 2-1, right? It was a fight.
Exactly right. Let's see. I'm trying to see if we can get Shenbon in this call right now. As is, we do have one more set going. For the people in the chat, we were struggling in getting all the players in the TTS room, but for the top 4, we are going to have both the games streamed simultaneously, and we'll be going back and forth. But I believe it seemed like the last game, the Water and Forest game, was very quick. Quite a quick set. So they kind of
who won? Sorry, I forgot. You did mention it.
We got the winner of that was Justin Schroeder, who I believe was the Forest player. Actually, I believe. Don't quote me 100% there. We'll
definitely find out in the finals, but it's interesting if Forest was able to defeat Water. Yeah.
Well, we've seen it. We've seen it time and time again for sure. You've seen a lot of these Forest players.
Oh, of course, yeah. I just this is the top 8, so it's different stakes at this moment. Yeah,
for sure. Okay, let's see. We have some time waiting, so let's see if we can get. Let me see if we can try to find. See if we can get this interview going real fast.
In the meantime, if you're just joining us, this is our top 8. The round has been over. Well, for the games that we were watching, at least, Frost versus Frost. Imagining Frost did win against Frost. Of course, that was the only outcome. We have a Frost deck in the top 4. Exciting news. We have our players competing for our 3 1-of-1 unique NFTs, celebrating Frogman, our little dingbell on the huge trophy, and a snowman with a trophy hat. So really cool 8-bit nostalgic art as we do here at Metasu. And our casters have been playing all day. It's been a very long day. It's still not over, but their energy and their playstyle has really filled up the stream. It has really engaged us, Kevin, right now, and myself. It's been a pleasure to watch all this. As we've said time and time again, where we will not get tired of saying it. We thank our staff. We thank our MCOs, our floor judges, head judge Saros, assistant judge Tyler, our floor judges, Elliot, Vincent, and Echo, who are floor judging. All of our moderators that are in the stream, in the Twitch stream, and in our Discord, just moderating all the constant love that all of you draw into MetaSU. Of course, are now for standing, like listening to me at Kevin on stream, off stream all day. I'm making sure that the stream is not like bursting into flames.
Right, and we are still waiting for it to finish, but we are not having Wang join us. Kelvin, Wang, join us soon. Waiting for our moderator to move them to the room we're in.
Exciting! It's exciting that we get a peek into the mind of this broadcaster that they played so well. What was in their mind making the prospect? What's their card experience with other games potentially if they want to talk about it? But it's been a long day once again, right? Like I won't be asking too many questions, and maybe they'll just get to share, their experience and how they enjoy the game.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, our moderators that are, the people we're waiting on to promote this person to the room, they're working hard all the time, so it might take a little bit longer to get them in the stream. You can imagine with all the bots and all the things that are going on around MetaSu's main server, there's a lot to moderate, so we can give them some slack and some time for them to figure it out. Are all the games, is just one game going on right now, Kevin? From the ones that they're not in this room, I'm guessing?
Yeah, and we're actually going to try to get quick interviews with both players, actually, both Frost players.
Oh, wow. Oh, that would be exciting. Yeah, we have to get around these permissions.
Yeah, getting around. We could move right now, but it would definitely interrupt the stream. A moment, please.
Yeah, no worries. We're just glad to be here right now. We're glad to wait a little bit longer to be able to talk with these two Frostcasters that faced each other in this top 8, in this first round of the top 8. And yeah, I haven't seen this. I'm not keeping up with the results of the other matches, but I am very interested in seeing what is our top 4 gonna look like. Besides, obviously, the Frost game that we're gonna see.
For sure. What was your favorite play that game, or that set, rather? Was there a play that stood out to you?
I think for me personally, what I enjoyed the most was the precise timing of frostbites. I feel that the frostbites at the right time with that extra bookmark really they're a little hard, at least for me. They look a little hard to time, right? Because the Amicus borrowing and such, like it's hard to get that frozen on and then do the frostbite. I think Kate had a few good examples of it. So I think it was just a great showcase of how to play Frostbite, and of course, masterful usage of the Alaskan Vortex, right? Like using those icy paths, using those Frostbites at the appropriate time to then get them back with the Alaskan Vortex. That was also a very skillful times in both games, and both players were able to do that masterfully. How about you, Kevin? Any specific plays that you really enjoyed in that matchup?
That's interesting. I think just the choice of to defend or not to defend with the Amicus, because the Amicus, we keep looking at their removal, Icy Path, and Alaskan Vortex, and those kind of pages, dealing removal. But it really came down to the end of when to defend with those spells, right? Another key moment was also choosing to Icy Path to Faced or Icy Path to a Snowflake or Icy Path to a Beastly, right? Those were huge, right? It was, in a sense, it's a little hard pinpointing, I think, one exact maneuver of, Icy Path targets or removal, right? Just because there is and there's the match is a gradual incline of pressure rather than like a quick drop off of pressure, right?
Yeah, something that I do want to know, especially from Kate, is like, when does she play the slow? When is the moment that Kate decides this is what I want my slow for? Because to be honest, watching the games, it was a little hard to decipher it, and was slow played at all in the games that we just watched? Because I just remember it in hand all the time, but I don't remember it being cast.
Exactly.
So I really want to get, when we are able to talk with Kate, we'll be excited to learn, what was in her mind, keeping that slow. What was she looking out for? Because as Kevin mentioned, a slow for an icy path is basically a dampen, right? It's going to take care of that icy path. There's not going to be a legal target when it resolves.
Exactly.
And there was lots of moments that there was aura available, and Kate decided not to use it on icy path. So
yeah. We actually have Wang coming in very quickly in a couple seconds. Let me see if we can finally get this going.
And once again, everyone, thanks for holding on to us. We've been here chatting here with the right approvals in our Discord, but we thank you for your patience, and we thank you for your viewership of this tournament. Hopefully, we can get you some nice input when we get our casters into this stream. Wang is already waiting in casual play, waiting to be moved.
Right, waiting to be moved. waiting for the mod team. But actually, we may have to pause for now.
Sure.
But
for now, is that okay?
Well, we need to get top 4. Okay, well, it looks like if this doesn't start in a minute, I think we'll just go to top 4 because we're waiting on this mod. There we go. Hello, how do you do?
Well, it looks like things have just changed.
Hey, welcome in, Kelvin, correct? Kelvin Wang.
Hello, yes.
Hi, welcome. Thank you again for a great showing. It's been we're also going to interview RiceKate later on as well, but I thought it'd be cool to talk to you both because you guys are a little bit of a trailblazer in the metagame, being from Frost players, making it to the top 8, right, as a whole. Yeah. But quite the matches we saw. Absolutely beautiful play from you throughout the games. Fantastic Jack Frost plays, good Icy Path plays. And I love the Tribe to Raid play as well in the last set. Please tell us, what made you want to choose Frost in the metagame?
Pretty much because all my friends were playing Lightning and Water. I wanted to be different. So I just decided to choose Frost. And it turns out to be pretty good.
There we go.
Oh, that is as a reason as I can think. That is great that you were able to choose a different art type than your friends and make it so far. Yeah, we had not seen Frost made it so far in an official tournament.
I really hope Kate wins Frost.
There you go. We have a sponsorship up to Kate.
Yeah. That would be awesome for sure. What makes you gravitate towards Frost among besides, is there anything you like about it besides just you want to be different, or?
Oh, I like control. I've always liked control decks in any game pretty much. So I tried out Dark. I did try Water, but it didn't really appeal to me. I just like Icy Path a lot. The way people look after you play it, it's great.
Exactly. You have a favorite Frost card at all?
Icy Path.
Yeah, that sounds like about right. It sounds like Icy Path is definitely your favorite card, and you can always get it back. Well, normally you can get it back with Polar Vortex, of course.
Oh yeah,
So
I really like that card. Last movie.
Yeah,
we saw you playing it a few times.
Vortex is fantastic, right? What do you want to see from Frost moving forward? Out of curiosity, like say Wilderness or future sets.
A really like beefy minion or beastie. Makes sense.
Okay.
I know Babe is there, but I kind of want something more like versatile and also, like whenever auras play like I don't know, gassy. It's like, oh my god, it's gassy. I want a card like that.
Interesting. So you want like some sort of card that really shakes people up.
Exactly.
Some sort of flexible threat. When you were building your deck, did you consider bringing Shino in at all, or not? Because it's one of those cards that's really flexible and unique.
I did, but I think the main reason why I didn't put him in is because, like I said, I played a lot of water. I played against a lot of water, and Flood the Earth just always killed it anyway. So that's the main reason why I didn't put it in.
Right. Do you think? How do you feel like a matchup with Frost and Water is? Do you feel like it's an even matchup? Do you feel like Water is better than Frost? Like, how do you address that?
I guess it depends on our water archetype, because I think it does really well against the Loveland archetype with like Smoky Spirits and stuff, just because you can burrow Amikook, and they can't do anything about it. I do think it's a skill matchup though, mostly maybe like 5-5, 6-4.
That's totally fair, right? And I think we're seeing a lot of these matches are those skill matchups for sure. We're gonna move on for sure right now. Talk to Kate before top four. But any last things you want to say?
Oh, thanks for the tournament. I've really been wanting something like this. It's just fun. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to watch you play, and thank you for being part of this tournament today on the 1st of 2022.
Seriously, yeah. I think the word I called your play immaculate, because that's the way and played it very, very well in this tournament. And Kate is also an amazing player. Watching her play, but you as well, very smooth. And I would not have minded if either of you made top four. So, congrats again. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's. Thank you. Okay, that's awesome. And we'll talk to Kate real quick as well, and then we'll do top four.
A great insight, right? Into like it's interesting how our friend groups definitely also influence the cards we play. I can see myself definitely change up my decks depending if my friends at the time were playing different, certain deck types when I was playing other games as I grew up. So it was really nice to get insight into someone that has their friend groups playing Metasu and just wants to play something different from whatever meta game their friends are doing, right? And glad to hear that they said that they play Control in other games and enjoy Frost Control. So that's nice to hear as well.
Agreed. And yeah, so you all play Control. That is, give Frost a shot. Because
say that he tried Dark and there wasn't their taste. A little hurt by that, but I understand that Frost is definitely more appealing when it comes to classic Control. Yeah.
Agreed. Great. Me try to get Kate in ASAP. And then one of them
should be here soon. They're ready, waiting in casual play, and ready to be transported by the powers of us and the moderator team.
Yeah. Waiting, please do it. Checks and balances, folks. Checks and balances.
Oh.
Hello, welcome in. Hello, welcome in. First of all, congratulations. You are top four and first top four in Metazu history playing Frost, which is fantastic. So congratulations again. It's been really awesome watching you play these games. What made you pick Frost in this metagame?
So I decided to go Frost, even though I prefer Dark. I'm more of a Vampire Mercy Brown girl, but I went Frost for the tournament. So
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, that's great, and I think Emilio likes that comment because he's a Dark fanboy.
Definitely, and something, just a quick question, Kate, because obviously, as Kevin, I enjoyed your gameplay a lot. I just have a burning or freezing question in your case. When do you play a slow? When is the right time to play slow in your deck?
I guess when just when like fireballs or whatever comes my way, I feel like slow is kind of just like a backup, just in case, you know.
Okay.
I see. Yeah. How does it feel to make top 4 in this 50-plus player event? Right, a lot of competition out here, right? I mean,
I can't believe it.
yeah, and so close too. Even if you lose the next match, you still have a shot at the 3rd place trophy, right? So it's not like you don't have much to lose right now. It's awesome. Yeah, that's so awesome, right? Do you expect to win? Take it home?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. My next match has I don't know what aura type I'm playing, so I don't know if I have a little bit of a leg up or not, but we'll see.
Yeah, you gotta find out for sure.
It's good. Kate keeping a very steady mind, right? Not gonna brag in. But we, as we said, we really enjoy your play style. We wish you a lot of luck, as well as to all the top 4 players. As Kevin said, even if the top 4 lose their match, they do play in the bronze match, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Still a very, it's still games to go and lots of chances to take home one of those shiny NFTs. Yeah.
Exactly. Have you played that Frost matchup before? Like Frost versus Frost? It seems pretty brutal.
No, I haven't. That was actually quite surprising that I played against another Frost. I was very shocked. But and then of course obviously we have the same Terra and everything, so it kind of just ended up whoever could, get those attacks off first. So
yeah. Did you side deck? We may have missed it, but did you side deck between games?
Oh, I did not.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah. Were you that confident in your main deck, or were you just unsure of what to side deck if you had a side deck?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of unsure, and I felt pretty confident in my deck, so I just decided to go for it. So since I won the first match, I felt a little bit more confident. So.
Oh, it definitely paid off. You're here in the top 4, and congrats again. Like it was, it was quite a game for sure. With that Amikuk with the power up red, quite the threat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's too much for your time. You have a game to play coming up right now that we're going to talk about. But no, you're good. I mean, any last words you want to say?
No.
Yeah, and just so you know, Kate, your previous opponent wishes you to win the whole tournament.
Yeah.
That's a big compliment there, and we wish you luck. Yeah.
He was very nice. I've played a lot of nice people today, so very fun.
Good.
That's very awesome. Well, hey, appreciate it again. Wish you the best of luck, and have a good night. Appreciate it.
So much. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you.